Welcome back. Our next guest says he continues to see opportunities in small cap and mid cap stocks. He also believes investors need to be looking outside the box for opportunities with markets at record highs. Joining me from Winnipeg is Grant White, portfolio manager and investment advisor at IA Private Wealth. Grant, thanks a lot for talking with us. We just saw markets and their one-year history, despite some meaningful declines today. As we all know, the major North American indices, which are dominated by large and mega cap stocks, have soared over the past 52 weeks. You think there's opportunity in smaller cap stocks?
Yeah, I think this is the time when investors need to really be looking beyond the big companies that have driven markets over. I mean, we're talking over decades now at this point, and I think this is the time where investors really need to be thinking outside of the box as to where these markets can go from here and what's going to lead the way. And, you know, it's just a simple fact of even looking at like the S&P 600, which follows, you know, the small cap U.S. Stocks, and looking at it trading at only about 14 times earnings today as compared to its average of around 16 and a half times over the last 20 years. And so we're trading at undervalued, we're trading at value prices in the small and mid cap space. And I just think this is a really good opportunity. This market can still have legs despite hitting all-time highs recently, as you were pointing out. But investors need to be a little bit more creative than just buying, you know, Apple and Amazon and Microsoft going forward. That's all.
You're a Canadian wealth manager, and we're a Canadian business news television station. Are there how plentiful are the opportunities in these smaller cap sectors? So either smaller mid cap stocks in Canada. The U.S. has lots of them. How many do we really have here in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit fewer and far between in Canada, of course, just by the nature of the size. But there are still these opportunities as well here. And I think that, you know, again, as investors are looking for opportunities, you still need to look here for better opportunities outside of the most well-known. I mean, everybody loves to buy Canadian banks and everybody loves to buy those core holdings that we're so familiar with, energy and you name it. And there are some opportunities there as well, don't get me wrong. But I think that, you know, if you're going to try to outperform markets going forward, and especially if you're concerned maybe about a little bit of volatility that we might see on the other end of this big market gain that we've seen, then you might want to look at some of the smaller and mid-cap size companies, especially in, you know, whether it's manufacturing or even transportation and things like that. I mean, with money in motion, I think there's going to be opportunities, and you know, you're pointing out even commodity prices and so on. So I think that there's going to be some opportunities there where investors are going to want to take a look at if you want to continue to outperform these markets going forward, which of course everybody does. And so I think you just got to think a little bit outside of the box, get out of the big mega caps or in the Canadian space, you know, even just the regular Canadian banks. You don't have to sell them off. Those are good core holdings. But I think for your alpha going forward, you might want to start allocating 10 to 20% of your portfolio to small and mid-cap companies. What
do you think of the idea of buying a smaller mid-cap ETF, of which there are many, both in Canada and the U.S.?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if in failing to identify a really great group of companies, and if you don't want to be super concentrated in that, I understand that, and most investors are probably not suitable for a highly concentrated portfolio of small and mid caps. ETFs are a great solution for that. I mean, there's also, there's also a good number of funds out there or pools that you can use that will steer towards or lean towards small and mid-cap holdings over large cap. So either of those options, I think, is a really good option. And I think that you should be looking at those types of things and injecting those into your portfolio now, because like I said earlier, I mean, we're looking at valuations on the well-known companies, and frankly, they're pretty off the charts right now in most cases. So it's really difficult to buy into a lot of the most well-known companies, but there are lots of good opportunities that are still buys out there. And if you want to play it in a diversified way, an ETF is a great solution for that.
Okay, let's pivot to another sector where there's lots of large cap stocks. There's some small and mid cap stocks as well. Canadian energy, you like the outlook, the setup for Canadian energy stocks?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I like Canadian energy before the election a couple weeks ago. I like it more now because I think that, you know, if there is going to be a push for independence of energy, especially in the United States, I think that there's going to be an opportunity to sell more of our energy, and I think that Canada needs to be prepared to do so. And so I think we're really well positioned for the demand that is out there. And I think that as a country and as, you know, some of our great companies here in the energy space can do very, very well in this in this. I mean, we've been holders of Canadian Natural Resources for a long time now. I think it's a fantastic business. And if you're looking to play this, and it's certainly not one of the smaller players out there, but if you're looking to play this in a way that you can feel comfortable, I think CNQ, or Canadian Natural Resources, is a great company to buy into, and they should participate well in the heightened demand that I expect to see in the coming years. And frankly, like, energy was already in high demand, and I think that's Canadian energy, the demand for it is just going to continue to go up over the next few years.